What's going on, folks? Ted from Nerd Immersion here. It is Wednesday, but that still can be ToV Tuesday if you believe hard enough. So I just wanted to cover this. I didn't get a chance to yesterday. It is the Valiant 6 Arrive. If you've been missing out on what's been going on, Cobalt Press has been releasing new content regarding Tales of the Valiant, their new system, which is a shake-up and adjustment to all of the SRD content released by 5e. Kickstarted successfully last year. I really slurred those words for some reason. But anyway, it is going to be available very soon. The books, I think, are at the printers at the moment. But every Tuesday now, they've been releasing a small update or snippet about their book. So let's go ahead and take a look at what this week, or yesterday technically, has brought us. So as you can see here, ToV Tuesday, the Valiant 6 Arrive, bring the action to your home games. One thing that I do really like that they did here, and I'm sure this is Celeste's, to some degree, her 3.5 love here, which is the kind of, and it's not an uncommon thing, we see it in Pathfinder all the time too, but like the concept of iconic characters, and I very much like this. D&D's kind of gotten away from this, but it's where there is a sort of a archetypical character who is the figurehead, if you will, of your class, right? So you can see 6 of them here. This is for 6 of the main classes contained within the Tales of the Valiant Player's Handbook. If you're familiar with what I'm talking about in 3.5, each class in there, in the Player's Handbook in Dungeons & Dragons 3.5, had a character with a name, and those characters, the images of those characters, would be the ones you'd see throughout the entire book in most of the other books, right? Like if you saw a picture of somebody casting a spell, it wasn't just like a random wizard casting a spell. It was probably Miley, the wizard character, casting the spell. So they would like use those characters. And honestly, it probably helps a little bit on art costs now that I think about it, of just recycling like those characters. But, you know, maybe they take on a special subclass and then you'd see that character as that version of that subclass or what have you. So this is a similar concept. We can see it here. It says, to accompany the launch of Tales of the Valiant, Cobalt Press has cooked up the Valiant 6, our iconic characters. Here are the images and downloadable PDFs of the 4th level PCs ready for action. Use them to help people to your game or as a resource for conventions and store play. Gotta say, you guys kind of did my dwarf buddy wrong here. Why is his the only piece of art that gets cut off? Right? He clearly has some sort of a torch, and we can see it if we scroll down, and a cool, like, lizard familiar pet thing on his arm, and they are just cut off. But then we can also see we have, I think, we'll scroll down and look. I also love the cleric art, because I'm digging the big scythe for the cleric. But you can scroll down. You can actually download them all here, but all of the classes are here. So here we have Elizon Highsail. This is the rogue, which I'm assuming is this character here. Now, one thing is, I did click on these, and unfortunately, you're not going to be able to like get any too much sneak peek information about the classes from these character sheets. It does show off like a little bit about the lineage, and it does have some of the class features listed here. If we were to zoom in, you can see, right, cold-blooded. When your weapon attack drops a character to 0 HP, make another attack with that weapon against a different creature. So it does kind of show off some of the aspects of the classes, but not too much here. Again, here's a talent that this character has: Scrutinous, discern speech of seen creature, gain +5. This is basically their replacement for observant. Cunning action, sneak attack, and so on. If we were to scroll down, we have the human fighter, Gadazade, which is a weapon master subclass. Again, showcasing a couple of different aspects of that. Here is her art. We have the orc mechanist, Hendrian Casca. You saw him over there with, again, also, I like that the organizations and the allies have pronunciation guides here, which is nice to see, making things a little bit easier for you. And I kind of like the Tales of the Valiant character sheet. I do feel like it kind of gives me older school D&D vibes to some extent, which is not a bad thing. And I kind of like the bubbles, right? We've got this sort of the bubbles and the way things are kind of organized, right? So you've got your attributes here in the middle, strength, dex, con. You've got your modifier on the bottom, and then the saving throw is up above with whether you're proficient or not. And then kind of off to the side, you have your skills. You've got kind of your major stuff here in the middle, like your attacks, your various passive abilities, Luck points, again, remember Cobalt Press for Tales of the Valiant has a luck system. It's a little bit different. Hit dice over here. Again, loving the max, current, and temporary little boxes individually. Makes it a little bit easier for you for tracking purposes. Again, all of the different aspects here. We've got what our different armor pieces are in the middle. And then, again, let's get to a spellcaster here. Right here's Seno Fosh, the human cleric. This is the one with the scythe that we were talking about. And we can see, again, here is the spell sheet. Not too different from what we see for 5e, but either way. Then we have the Dwarf Wizard. Again, our little buddy here. I wish we could get a closer look at him. Unfortunately, his art got cut off. There you go. So he's got his torch and his little kind of newt or salamander familiar. Fricks, his salamander familiar, I should say. There you go. And then again, we can see a little bit about what is he? A battle mage. So we have some of his battle mage abilities here. And then lastly, Zalbakar and Drylax, the Kobold Fiend Pact Warlock. Here he is as well. So just pretty simple stuff here, but if you're going to be looking to play Tales of the Valiant, whether for a one-shot or running it at a convention or at your local store, and people are unfamiliar with the game and you want to give them a starting character sheet, this is probably a good way to go about it. You can just give them these. They're already pre-written. They have a lot of information on it already, and they show sort of a quintessential version of each of these classes, which is nice. I like that it's 6, right? I feel like D&D was really big on 4 for a long time, especially in 5e. It was like the fighter, cleric, rogue, wizard. I like that we've got a little bit more options here by throwing in things like the Mechanist and the Warlock. But again, I would love to see iconic characters. Pathfinder's really big on iconic characters as well. But these sort of, we have the Valiant 6, I would love the Valiant 13 and give us one for each class. And then again, you can reuse that art if you want, right? You don't have to, but you can reuse that art in all of your subsequent books to showcase those characters in different situations. I know for me personally, that's a little nostalgia back to the 3.5 days. So, I mean, obviously they can do whatever they want. And the books are pretty much at the printers anyway, so it's not like that's going to change. This isn't going to shift their opinion one way or another. But either way, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. If you're seeing this on Wednesday, I'll be live on Twitch later today playing some Phandelver and Below, so I hope to see you over there. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.